Hi students, welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. My name is Mbide, and in this session we are going to learn about prepositions and specifically the complex prepositions. I'm sure in Form 1 you learned about prepositions, you defined prepositions and gave a few examples. So in this class it is more of a continuation of that, because you're going to specifically look at complex prepositions and also attempt to construct a few sentences with complex prepositions and give as many examples as possible of complex prepositions. Before we get into complex prepositions, it is important to remind ourselves of what a preposition is. So if you're asked, what is a preposition? You're asked to define a preposition and even give a few examples of prepositions. Are you able to do it? So a preposition is a word that comes before a noun or a pronoun and shows its relation to the other parts of the sentence. So if you say the cat is under the table, the cat is under the table. The word under there is the preposition. It is showing us the position. Where is the cat? It is under the table. When you say Salim sat next to Aisha, it is showing us the position of Salim in relation to Aisha. So Salim sat next to Aisha. So prepositions show us the position of something in relation to another thing. And so prepositions can be divided into two, or there are two categories of prepositions. There's the simple prepositions and there's the complex preposition. The simple prepositions are like on, under, beside. Those are simple prepositions. So in this session, we are going to now learn what are complex prepositions. So we can give a few examples of simple prepositions just as a recap. The cat is on the table. On is a preposition. It is a simple preposition. The book is under the chair. Under is a preposition. My novel is in my bag. In is a preposition. It is showing us the position of the novel in relation to the bag. And lastly, Cairo jumped over the fence. Over is a preposition, a simple preposition. So now that we have that understanding of simple prepositions, let us now proceed to complex prepositions. And complex prepositions express different meanings. For example, place, cause, exception, and alternative. So we are going to look at these four and see what I mean. So when we are talking about place or space, this is what we mean. Maggie sat close to Lynette. The place where Maggie sat is close to Lynette. So close to is a complex preposition. I am traveling out of town tomorrow. Out of is a preposition and a complex preposition. My sister lives next to the lake. Next to is a complex preposition. And lastly, Kibet walked ahead of his brother. Ahead of is also a complex preposition. Now, before I proceed, You have realized that they are two words, unlike simple prepositions that are only one word like on and in. These are two words: out of, ahead of, close to, next to. So complex prepositions are the ones that are more than one word. We can also use complex prepositions to explain cause or reason for something. For example, he is dozing because of sleeping late. So the reason why he is dozing off is because he slept late. So because of is a complex preposition, a two-word complex preposition. Muli failed his driving test due to his incompetence. Due to is the preposition here, and it shows us that the reason for failing is incompetence. And lastly, they failed the test because of laziness. Because of, again, has been used here. It is a complex preposition. So the reason for failing is laziness. We can also use complex preposition to show exception. For example, apart from sugar, you also need milk to bake a cake. So you need sugar, but there are other things that you need. So apart from is a complex preposition. Except for the sad ending, the movie was interesting. Except for is a complex preposition. So the movie was interesting. However, the ending was sad. Apart from being intelligent, Sarah is also diligent. So apart from is a complex preposition, and it shows us that Sarah is intelligent and also she is diligent. Lastly, we can use complex prepositions to show alternative. So for example, instead of traveling by bus, I used the train. So I have the option of traveling by bus, but I have chosen to use the train. And in that sentence, our complex preposition is instead of. Let's go for a walk instead of staying indoors all day. So we can stay indoors or we can choose to go for a walk. Lastly, there is something we call the three-word complex prepositions. That means that they are made up of three words. If you noticed, the complex prepositions we have been looking at are made up of two words instead of, apart from, or the simple prepositions that are only one word like under, over, on, besides. So there are three word complex prepositions. For example, I am calling on behalf of my sister. So on behalf of is a complex preposition and it is a three-word. A pronoun is used in place of a noun. In place of is a three-word complex preposition. And lastly, we went as far as Nakuru, but we did not see Alice. As far as is also a complex preposition and a three-word complex preposition. So take note of that. And so that's it for this session. I hope you're now able to define a preposition, give examples of simple preposition, two-word complex prepositions, and also three-word complex prepositions. And you're also able to construct sentences with each of them. For further practice, you can have a look at the quiz. It's a two-part quiz. The first part is fill the gaps below with the appropriate three-word complex preposition. And the second part is fill the gaps below with the correct complex preposition. So you can have a look and attempt and see if you're able to answer. Thank you for tuning in and see you in the next session.